Welcome, brothers and sisters, to our Advent Bridge series. Day 21. Today's reading comes from the last book of the Old Testament, from the prophet Malachi, and the last chapter of this prophet's reflection. We find out that the arrival of the Messiah will be far from a pleasant experience. We find out from the reading that he will sit refining and purifying silver, and he will purify the sons of Levi, refining them like gold or silver, that they may offer due sacrifice to the Lord. Then the sacrifice of Judah and Jerusalem will please the Lord, as in the days of old, as in years gone by. When the Lord purifies us, have we thought that through many events of our lives, the words being spoken to us by a friend, even conflicts, corrections, rebukes, struggles we go through, there is a purifying fire of the Lord coming to us as a sign of His love. Often we want to offer our lives to the Lord, and we say, I would like to sell Jesus. I would like to offer my life. I would like to do a lot of good things. Unfortunately, to make these offerings work, so to speak, they may really be pleasing to the Lord. Our hearts, our intentions, our desires need to be purified. St. Paul speaks about that too, that in those tribulations and trials, a true mark of the apostleship is being seen. And Jesus enters the Jerusalem temple, and as we remember, he purifies the temple, saying, this place is meant to be the place of prayer. This is my Father's house, and you made it a marketplace. In another passage, the prophet speaks about a den of thieves. The purification is important. It's a sign of God's love, not of God's displeasure towards us. If we may have this optic, knowing that in those particular events of our lives, He comes to purify us of our sins, of our imperfections, of the issues, of our idolatries, oftentimes hidden from our sight. And further on, we find out that with this purification of the heart, there needs to be a reconciliation. The prophet, specifically here Elijah, who will come before the day of the Lord comes, the great and terrible day, to turn the hearts of the fathers to their children and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and strike the land with doom. When the hearts are purified, when we go through this time of the dark night, of being cleansed interiorly, that's a propitious, proper way that we stand in humility in front of the Lord and those around us, so that the reconciliation may happen. If not, we hear the very last word from today's reading, and also the last word, cherem, from the Old Testament, which is doom. The Lord doesn't want our doom. We know that He comes to search for what has been lost and to rescue, to heal the wounded ones. All throughout the Gospels, the heart needs to be prepared so that we are disposed for the reconciliation. Because if that does not happen, how many lives you might have known, the families, the communities that experience a living hell, sort of like a doom, a distraction. They were turning left and right, asking themselves, where is God in all that? Why all these issues and sufferings that we cannot bear, we cannot take upon ourselves, it looks like God has forgotten about us. Sometimes I heard people say these exact words, like a doom. Again, God doesn't want us. He purifies us. He makes us small so that the reconciliation, our hearts might be disposed towards those that one way or another we would like to flee away from, so that the doom may not happen, so that the demons may not overwhelm us and strangle us, because God has the plans of love and of goodness for each and every one of us. Therefore, today, on one hand, we are called to pray and reflect on the times the Lord is purifying us, maybe even in this very time. And on the other hand, asking, please, Lord, help me to incline my hearts towards those who are next to me, so that I may not blame you afterwards for issues, for the doom that takes place, but I may believe that you come to rescue me and to preserve me from the destruction. God bless you, brothers and sisters, as we are about to conclude our Advent Bridge series.